Mystifly is a global airfare marketplace that consolidates airfares originating from 70 different countries with a supplier network and connecting that with the demand generators who are our customers in about 60 countries and giving them access to cheapest airfares possible in the world. So as a marketplace, we address the needs of demand generators through a supply network. And what does it translate into? It translates into that a travel organization with a global aspiration, a global dreams, through Mystifly can cater to a customer in any part of the world, and all this with just a simple integration to our tech platform. And that powers them with content, capability that can scale their business to a global level. And that's what Mystifly does for our customers. We're headquartered in Singapore, and for us, it's not about Asia or not about India. It's about the world and how we are able to add significant value to our customers around the globe. So with great pride, we impact the businesses of few of the largest global online travel agencies in the world, and we contribute towards making them even more competitive than what they are when it comes to offering the best fares to their customers. Mystifly started as a call center, email-driven organization, and it was these processes that powered our ability to offer great fares to our customers, because there were technological challenges, costs that was involved in creating a global platform. So our first journey towards realizing our dream of being a global platform started with what we call as an offline support through email and phones. So the last 5 years in particular has seen us evolve from a phone email driven business into a very tech product driven business, where from an offline process into powering customers with the ability to search, book, ticket transactions on their own. The second transition that I see as Mystifly we've done in the last 8 years. The first starting from an offline business, call center, email driven, into a tech platform that drove transactions for our customers. The third evolution that we've seen from there was from a tech platform driving businesses of offline customers, transitioning into an online customer world, which is about powering global OTAs. So in the last 5 years, we've increased our footprint across multiple OTAs across the globe and giving them the real-time ability to search, book, ticket, airfares on airlines that they don't have access to. What's also been visible and has changed in Mystifly over the last years is our global footprint from a supplier network standpoint. So starting from about 5 countries in 2009 when we started business, to increasing that footprint to about 70 countries, covering multiple partners in many of these countries, has been the next shift that we've seen within the business. From being an offline, yet at that time people-driven business, into an online, yet people-driven business, because at the end, in the last 8 years, something that I've seen very strongly remaining constant is our people contributing to the success of this organization. Right? So we've evolved in a big way, but the fundamentals of what's evolving it has not changed. It's our people who's helping us make that change within the business. Yeah, Mystifly is headquartered in Singapore, and as a company, we've always had global aspirations. So we started the business being an India headquartered company, and we've transitioned into being a Singapore headquartered company. So when we were an India company, our early days was about addressing the needs of the Indian market. And from there, we transitioned into identifying opportunities that made great sense for us at a global level and addressing the needs of our global customer base. So our early day focus was to create a profitable business that is a real business, has real customers, real margins, real profits, solving real problems, to then taking steps that can help us scale that business into still a real business, but at a larger scale. So many markets have been of great interest to Mystifly, and all along in the early days, we have skimmed the market more at a top layer. We've never really had great penetration into most of the markets. We've taken markets on the basis of opportunities, skimmed the market at a very high level, and have continued to grow because we were successful in addressing a large market opportunity. What we're doing at Mystifly now is to get more focused on specific markets and get a lot more deeper in these markets so that we are able to add more values to similar kind of customers that we're currently working with in each of these countries. So from skimming the market at the surface to getting more deeper and going more vertical in these markets is a journey that Mystifly is at right now. What markets excites us? China excites us, North America excites us, Asia excites us. So we're going to be seeing a lot more penetration from Mystifly across these three markets in this year, and of course with a certain prioritization. So we're going to be seeing a lot more expansion for Mystifly across these markets with deeper penetration in these three larger geographies, and driving growth from opportunities that we see in these markets. Being a global consolidation business, we had very little dependency on the Indian market. We're pretty spread out in terms of our customer base and our interests in different markets. So India did not really influence us. And there's a fundamental reason why we looked at the business from a global standpoint rather than from an Indian standpoint when Mystifly was set up. So 2005-06 is when the online travel agency market in India opened up with few players setting shop and starting expanding in India. And by 2009, it was already a market that had players, but not really growing to the scale at which general expectations were in 2005, 2006 when these businesses came into existence. So for me personally at that point, the whole aspiration was, how can we create a business that's agnostic to local market conditions? And what is the need to drive a business that can solve global problems rather than just a country problem, right? So, and that's where Mystifly solved the global airfare opportunity or challenges that existed in that space. There are two kinds of organizations, successful organizations today. One that focuses on scale, the other that focuses on niche, right? So scale ensures there is great price-driven value that's created. Niche focuses on great experience-driven value that a customer is able to generate. And that's going to be the norm. As we go with time, you will see more businesses focusing on delivering great experience, and you will see more businesses becoming more commoditized because it's purely price driven. So for Mystifly, it's important to address both ends, that is able to help organizations scale, but at the same time is able to create that value from an experience standpoint and cater to a particular market that relies very heavily on personal experiences and hence the importance for a company like us to make sure that we're catering to both the ends of the marketplace. So what's the right balance for Mystifly? Mystifly sees both these businesses as two independent businesses that has very little correlation between them. So Mystifly focuses on driving price-driven value for our price-sensitive customers who run a very commoditized model, and that's driven through one of our products. While on the other spectrum, we have customers who create experiences for their travelers, and there is a certain niche product line that is very important for them to deliver that experience. So Mystifly has another product line that addresses the needs of such customers. So in that sense, the balance is not the right balance. It's about the balance that's needed for each of these verticals to succeed on its own. And that's where Mystifly's focus is at the moment. Being nominated for the third time reflects our customers' confidence in us. It was the same even when we were nominated for the first time. It continued to be the same when we were nominated for the second time and for the third time. Winning for the first time meant that we were doing something which was valuable to our customers. We were impacting, we were creating that value for our customers, and they felt it was important to recognize that contribution that we are making to their businesses, and hence voted us to be the best leading consolidator in the world. And when they did that for the second time, in a way, it reinforced the fact that we're doing something valuable. It's going to be exactly the same when we do it, if we do it again the third time, that our customers continue to trust us, they believe in us, they believe the fact that we are valuable to them, and they appreciate the fact that we work hard to impact their business every day. And that's what the third award would actually mean for Mystifly.